Going live. It says going live. And you're live.
And you're live. We're both
and
live.
We're live on Instagram. All right. Hello, Instagram people. Hello, YouTube people.
Hello.
We are live.
Haven't done live for a while.
Yes, we have been off the live scene, but now we're back. Never fear. And we're brewing Shu Pu'er. So
I'm gonna get started since we're so
let's
desperate
get started. We're dying of thirst. Hello, hello, Chase Ennis and Mike Beecha 61. Welcome on Instagram. Hello there. We're just brewing some Shu Pu'er. We're both dying of thirst. We just did a little. Crank the brightness up. Good one.
Here we go.
And hey, Simmerjeet, welcome to the Instagram
Hello,
live.
Simmerjeet.
We're just brewing up some Shu Pu'er, as is our evening tradition. This time we're particularly dying of thirst because we just finished our little arm workout, which was grueling.
Oh.
And hey, Joseph Burton on YouTube and Uriz10. Good evening to you. We're just warming up the Gaiwan and brewing some Shu Pu'er.
Yes.
We got I'm always weak on promotion, but since we're tea vendors, I think it's fair to tell you that we're brewing our 2016 Shu Pu'er Coins.
Yes.
Lovely little coins featuring a gorgeous little ridge line down the center that you can see, easy to break in half.
Will this be better? Does that help?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. They can see the ridge.
Okay.
But we're going to brew the whole thing.
Yeah, we always do the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, not always. Sometimes I do a half one. I can't remember why though. Oh, if I do a mug, I'll break that in half because it's a bit much for a mug, but we almost very rarely do a mug. So we do almost always do the whole coin, but that's a really handy
It comes
feature.
in a whole sleeve of
coins. Get a sleeve of 10 of those. Or if you want to save a little money and go bulk, you can get 10 sleeves of 10 for a little bit better price. There we go. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's an awesome tea too, which we'll get into later as we quench our thirst. They're about 10 grams. So Chase
7 to 8 grams. It's a hand press, so it's not very accurate.
Precise, yeah. So 7 to 8 grams per coin. Yeah. And welcome, Ellen. I'm Ellen.dm on Instagram. Hello. Sorry about butchering your name. I did my best, and it wasn't all that great. So we're gonna have some tea. Quench our thirst. We're pretty excited to chat about the possibility of us translating one of Jianli Wu's books. She's got a total of 6 now, right? She just dropped another one. She just dropped another one recently, so we're going to talk a little bit today.
Haven't been to the market yet. Still in final stage.
The latest one isn't out. This is
the only book that is. I almost say dual language, but it's bilingual, English and Chinese on the book. So the interesting thing is our very first New York Tea Festival, we brought our books and stuff because we're we're pretty new to the scene and trying to tell people we have, quite a good experience in China, back in China. So we brought all the teas that my mom published. And this is the one, and we had one customer, I remember, he was like, oh, this book, I have this book. I bought that in the airport. And the English is just so awful and so hilarious. And at that time, I know it, I didn't truly feel so much because we're pretty new to this whole tea scene as well. So a lot of wording and stuff, it's like I'm so not sure. I just don't know if it's right to say it or something. And we have been developing a more sturdy way of approaching this, because old times sometimes he wouldn't be brutal enough to correct my English, or wouldn't know there's a miscommunication. We thought we understood each other, but sometimes when we talk more, we realize, it really what I meant was not what he understood, and that was
there's 2 layers of complexity with this issue too, right? There's the basic Chinese English translation is already an art, just because the languages are so different, and then also there's plenty of tea terms that Chinese people get mixed up with.
Yes.
And So anyway, I gave it a read after this fella said that, and I read it, and I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
pretty
just a
brutal.
basic English wasn't even
It's
good
not,
enough.
yeah, it's not as bad as IKEA instructions or those instructions you get from Made in China product, which are often hilarious. It's not so bad, but it could use some. It certainly could use a tighten up.
Because that's quite interesting. The lady who translated has really good certificate in English language skills in China, and that's one. It's just how we learn English. It's a lot of learning grammars and dictionaries and notes, and like sometimes when we talk or when we edit our magazines or articles, like I feel like I said this right, like a quote unquote grammarly right. And I asked him, he was like, something's not right, or this meaning got twisted because of how the grammar. So there's lots of issues.
We've had long discussions about that. Yeah. Long discussions, and some of them at a pretty high volume. But it's all good. But that's what you were mentioning that too, because sometimes I read it and I've got to be careful because I think I've got it. And I'm getting much better. We know each other so much better now. But early times I would think I have it, and I would fix the whole thing so it read well, and then you would reread my fixed version and be like, that's not
like something seems to be off. And I sometimes would have problems to pinpoint like why I feel that, so I had to so that was quite a process, and that just kind of confirms or like make us feel more deeply about how this language and cultural barrier and this tea profession, because the lady who translated this book doesn't have any background in Chinese tea, except that she is Chinese. So that also affects how she would describe, like, for example, processing terms or stuff like that. So
I think it would be worth a shake, because we've got a lot of the tea terminology. We've got kind of our approaches ironed out, how we want to describe processing terms and how much detail to go into and all that.
Yes, and the reason we chose this book, I think is because. Oh, hello, Josh.
Sorry, I was just reading too.
All right. I don't know. I don't think you can buy that in Canada. Can you? Amazon?
I'm not sure.
The guy who got that was from.
Just hold off and get the copy we translate.
Yeah, it's free too. I think the guy who got it was in the airport flying from China back.
Yeah, probably.
Then he just found this book about tea. So yeah, the reason is because there's the English version too, and we can put the original, the Chinese version, and maybe we haven't think. We just wanted to do this.
Yeah,
we don't have exactly like how do we want to do that. All times I was thinking about publishing books or stuff, but I don't know. Nowadays I just cannot think about myself dedicated time for such a thick. No, I think I'd do that like YouTubers and chapters, or like a little pieces by 2 pieces. I don't have an idea yet, but if you guys have any suggestions, that would be great, because I can put the English, the Chinese, and my translated version, and you guys can decide. Because some of you actually have a little bit of Chinese knowledge and stuff, and you can make your judgment of which one might be better translation, or if you can help us to say, this might mean something else, or maybe like help us work on this too.
So looks like Josh says on YouTube, wait, oh my God, Jen's mom's book? Yes, that was it right there. So that was, we were showing, and Joseph meant he would buy the translation. But like Jen said, we'll see how we end up doing that. We're not even sure. I want to say Ellen from on the Instagram side said hello from Haida Gwaii, Canada, which I don't know where that is. That's really cool. So welcome. I don't recognize your name, so welcome to our live stream if you're still out there and still checking us out. But cool to have somebody from that place in Canada.
Where is that?
Yeah, we'd love, if you're there, we'd love to know kind of whereabouts that is and whatnot, because totally caught my eye a while ago, but we were in the middle of our little chit chat about the book. And Emma's Teapot, welcome on the Instagram side. Josh thinks it's in BC. I have a hunch you're right as well. That's why I was
at a glance, I was like, oh, Hawaii.
That's what I thought. And when it said Canada at the end, I'm like, what?
Okay. Oh my God, this is so good. I don't know that tea really. Did we mention that? We did a arm workout.
We said workout. I don't know if we said it was arm.
The funny thing is that I found that if I do targeted workout, arm workout, my shoulder hurts. I do sit-ups, my neck hurts, my abs were okay. So I just this beneath the head to my shoulder is no matter what I do, it hurts.
Kettle's heavy, I bet now.
Yeah.
Kettle's real heavy.
But it's so soothing to have some pu'er after that.
Yeah, I was super dry too, like a raisin. So speaking of raisin, not really related, but we had a really fun fruit the other day too. What was the other thing we were going to talk? We're going to talk about Talking Tea Live, but we'll have a little fruit talk break.
Okay.
Right, because I had these. I think we posted it in Instagram too, right?
Yes.
Little Jianli, which is a little fruit which I first encountered in Yunnan, but it was really unripe. We had to throw something in the tree and knock it down so we could try it, and it was tart.
You can see that in our Yunnan vlog. I think
yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, those are really like when they are green, they're pretty, really aromatic, really tart. But I found it's more aromatic compared to when it's ripe. When it's ripe, it's more sweet and
it's not as booming. When you have that on the tree, you're right. It had a sweet sort of that aroma was coming out, but once it's ripe, it's kind of in the liquor, if we could say, or instead the aroma is stuck in the fruit. A really interesting flavor though. Almost, I described it as kind of like a strawberry crossed with a raspberry, but then it's got this other element that's just different, which was really interesting. And apparently if you eat enough of them, it feels like your teeth are made of something soft. But
it's like ultra sensitive, but you didn't know it's sensitive, but it's so soft. So that was the...
Cool.
Was a little bit scary for him to try it.
Josh says that Haida Gwaii is near Queen Charlotte, the Queen Charlotte Sound, the Queen Charlotte Islands probably. Wow, so that's a pretty beautiful place in Canada. So I don't think she was still here. She never did respond, or he never responded, but cool. I'd love to go there. And looks like Josh is double dipping. I don't know if that's allowed, Josh, both Instagram and YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. Feel free, knock yourself out.
You're in the live police.
I'm the live police. So speaking of live, the other kind of fun announcement we have is we've got coming up this Sunday, right? Yes, this Sunday, we'll be joining Ken Cohen, the host of Talking Tea Live, for a Talking Tea Live. We're going to the host of Talking Tea. Okay, the podcast is Talking Tea.
Right.
A podcast all about TNT culture.
Special Father's Day.
Father's Day edition, Talking Tea Live. We're going to invite, I think it's the first 25 people to join the Zoom session. Can sort of sit in the room as Ken and I talk. Ken and us, not I. Jen and I.
I'm just monitoring.
Jen and I and Ken, and I think he said Doug's going to co-host on his end too. So we will be there and talking about a historic tea that we will...
I'm trying to search that title that
we will announce. We're going to keep it a little bit elusive and mysterious. So if you are a fan of Talking Tea and you happen to kind of dig us too, we will be there on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And so that's going to be awesome. We have done, if you're familiar with Talking Tea, you may already know that we did a session with Ken down in Philadelphia a couple years back, at least, which was all about Lapsam Suchom. I'm trying to remember. It had a pretty funky title, like Smoke, Beyond the Smoke, Lapsam Suchom. That was something like
You're good.
So that was one of the first times we were pretty new friends with Ken at that time. But the friendship has grown. We've visited numerous times together. He's besides having a great podcast, a great human being as well. And we did a dark tea podcast when he was visiting us up here in Ottawa. So we did one in Philly, did one up here in Ottawa. And now we're going to do one COVID style, which is Zoom.
Zoom style.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
somebody say hi from Brazil.
yeah, hello, Carolyn.
Wow.
IG. I just love trying to pronounce the handles. But anyway,
You're good.
hello from Brazil. We are so glad you're here with us. And yeah, love Brazil. Wish we could go there. Uruz 10?
Uruz 10 said, I'll have to watch later. It will be too early for me to join live.
Yeah. He might be West Coast, or he might just be
Yes.
somebody who likes to take Father's Day real easy. Either way, cheers to you, Uruz 10.
Yes. Okay, so just I found what we talk about, like the title is the theme for the live is looking at the past and present of a legendary tea.
Oh, so that's the topic for this Sunday's
Sunday.
Talking Tea Live. Looking at the past and present.
Mm.
Help me out, I forgot the ending already. Looking at the past and present.
Of a legendary tea.
Of a legendary tea. Okay, so that's the official tagline. And yeah, so tune in for that. We're going to have a lot of fun. And yeah. So Josh seems to have done some deep research on Haida Gwaii, and it is in fact the new name for the Queen Charlotte Islands, because they are, and it actually means islands of the Haida people. So we, the British brutally named the islands Queen Charlotte Islands after one of their princesses or some such thing, and we have named it back to what it, I guess, would be the islands of the Haida people. So yay. I'm glad we did that. And it's a very pretty name, a little bit prettier than Queen Charlotte Islands, I would say. Very cool. Very cool.
Wow, when did that happen?
It will be at 2 a.m. for Uruz 10. Yeah, I don't. So you're far, far away. You must be
Europe? Right?
No, beyond. I'm going to guess.
I feel like he mentioned that.
2-1. No, that's 12, 13 hours. That's like India, China, like those. That's other side of the world sort of shift.
Oh, right. 13 hours. Yeah,
13 hours. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's in that zone. Oh, yeah. And
Japan. Oh, right. He's sorry, Francois? Is that Francois? Any franchise started?
Oh, no, that's Marc Antoine. Is that right, Marc? Yeah, your handle got us, but I think that
your handle sounds so Spanish or something, so I keep thinking you're from Brazil.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Sorry that we didn't immediately recognize you, but yeah, it's good that you could join us. Thank you for doing that. And great to be able to kind of stay in touch with you. Did we get it right? I hope so. He said LOL only. So I hope we did guess right. I think we got it right.
Yes, we got that right.
You're 100%
Come on,
sure?
Japan. Yes.
Well, there could be. There's a lot of people in Japan, huh? Did you know that?
I didn't know. I thought there's only one guy.
Like arroz con pollo. That sounds like a chicken dish.
Is it?
I don't know. Oh, speaking of chicken dish, maybe we could talk a little bit about some of our cooking adventures. We had a pretty good cooking time.
He made noodle. He made a 手擀面. I remember Josh mentioned before that he did that too. And
it was fun.
I saw his picture. I remember, or I saw that on Insta or something. I saw his picture was really pro. He tried that today too, and it was
okay. It was edible.
Totally edible. It's just how should I say? Too fat.
I said Marc Antoine. It's Marc Andre.
I
knew that. Sorry, I got you mixed up with another friend, Marc Andre. But I'll keep it straight. Oh, arroz, right? Uruz, arroz. Yes, sounds Spanish. Con pollo.
Right,
chicken dish. That's what, cool. All right. So anyway, don't worry, Marc Andre. We are not going to make you into a dish. And I forget. Oh yeah, we were talking about ganmian, shoganmian, right? So it's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm gonna try again. My dough is a touch too dry, I think. And I also made xiaoyuanzi, which are just like little mini glutinous rice balls that you put in boiling water. And she seasons those. I don't know how to say that, but
not quite seasoned.
She flavors them with these dried flowers. Oh,
yeah,
so good.
Osmanthus flower.
Super good with a bit of rock sugar.
Yeah, a little bit of rock sugar.
Great breakfast.
When he was sick in Yunnan, he says, I was one day I was going on what?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you tell the story properly. It was very easy to get it wrong.
No,
For you.
he was sick in Yunnan, and
Yes.
in the morning I'm
And you asked me
going
what?
out to get breakfast.
what
I
did-
was like, what can I get for you? You know,
No.
what do you want for breakfast?
Yeah, she said, let me know what you want for breakfast. I'll get you anything. Right? So what do I say? I said, I want xiaoyuanzi with osmanthus flour and rock sugar.
Very specific.
Yeah, because it's very
I said,
calming.
this is Yunnan. They don't have those. Those are not Yunnan dishes. Where am I going to find those?
But you know what? She tried. She did go around and look.
Right?
They didn't
That's
have
so funny. And I finally find a place that sells pretty not say normal, but pretty friendly to our diet. That breakfast place that have noodles and have wontons and with soy milk. And I was like, oh, do you want soy milk? He was like, yeah, with rock sugar, right? He's so obsessed with the rock sugar. Like, what kind of a breakfast place will give you rock sugar?
Mm-hmm. But finally, in the video, I think it's even in the video, finally we made it to one of the other mountains, and I got a piece of like brown sugar fudge, which was awesome. I don't know, I just needed some sweet. So I guess that's it. So yeah, he made what we made, jjajangmyeon.
Yeah, I remember. You made that a while ago.
So I made the shoganmyeon to go with jjajangmyeon that she made, which was just killer good. Man, that's a lot of work. I only made
the sauce.
Yeah, but the sauce is everything. Right. And biangyangmyeon a couple of days ago. Is that biangyangmyeon? Is that like dandanmyeon or is that different? What's
different?
Biangyang?
Biangyang is a very crooked, crazy Chinese character with so many characters. Then you reprint that super big.
I know. It's too crooked and crazy.
Yeah, because
right?
that sound doesn't have a word to go with it. Then they put everything in that character.
Oh, hello, Good Farm Tea on Instagram, and hello, Nuev Orden, also on Instagram. And yes, the brown sugar fudge was amazing. So good.
And in the video, you probably
super dark brown sugar.
Yunnan is famous for raw brown sugar. Yeah. We all ship that like 20 kg and just ship to Beijing, and then we do a little distribution of friends.
We get it here. So there, because it's humid and stuff, it's got a fudge consistency. It's pretty hard, it's pretty firm, but you can bite it. We get it here, and it's so dry it turns into a stone. We have to cut pieces off and dissolve it if we want to use it. It's really really different. And she always comments how it's dry here. I never really noticed, but if I think about those things, yeah, dry. Right. And just checking Josh, I was down to he said OMG, and I love making
you cannot say OMG now.
And he loves it. I love making tangyuan in an osmanthus ginger sweet broth. And again, OMG. Yeah, it's the most complicated.
Because he say OMG in that.
Yeah, I watched some other YouTubers who say OMG. But anyway, doesn't matter. Base YouTubers. So anyway, I even learned how to write it to celebrate the noodles. It's so hard. The character, the crazy one. Bian Bian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy. Oh, now Marc-Andre wants to try it. Yeah. I think that was probably the brown sugar that I got them onto. But everything I mentioned, you should try. It was all really good, especially jjajangmyeon with your sauce was good. I had to cut the pork belly. That was a lot of work.
That's why my right arm is especially tired. Yesterday I did that
stirring for 2 hours.
Yes.
I cut the pork belly. She said if I had to do all of it, I couldn't survive, just fall over.
Yeah.
So good for you too. Oh, the brown sugar fudge is so good for you too. It was one of my favorite treats when I was in Yunnan. Yeah, really good, really good. I think I got it because I had a fever. They felt bad for me.
Yes, and he was so happy just having that by himself. I was like, do you want to dissolve that in the water and make that brown sugar water easier? He was like, no. Go pay some tea. There's a video as evidence. You can watch that.
Yeah. Fully, I was not interested in that suggestion at all.
It's so funny. He got wrapped up in the locals' clothes with a little scarf and playing the little music on the cell phone, just laying there. And all the rest of us are downstairs doing paying the new batch of tea.
Yeah, that was Pasha, right?
Pasha.
That was in Pasha, so that was some pretty amazing tea. Oh, you're gonna need that anyway. I can hear the kettle is about to boil for our next round. Pretty exciting.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, we got to show them the liquor color and stuff. We're on
All right.
infusion sort of 3 or 4, I think. So we'll get back on the ball and show you the tea. So for those of you who joined more recently, we are drinking a Shu Pu'er. It's a Shu Pu'er coin. We showed the coin earlier, but there's the partially brewed leaf. I don't think I need to put the paper behind. I don't know. It's not focusing too well. I don't know. Anyway, nice dark leaf. Fermentation is nice in this. It's not overdone at all. It's really balanced. It's got a bit of a sweet date flavor. Really nice. Nice, really great evening tea. Doesn't rev me up personally.
Yeah.
So Nuev Orden on Instagram says, though I am specifically referencing the Dai people in Sichuan, Yunnan. They were Dai too, right?
They're not Dai.
Oh, Zhanglang.
None of those are Dai.
what
One
was
is
Jianli? Don't mean to put you on the spot. I'll remember
I don't
too.
remember.
But I remember we asked. They told us what we
Yes.
Okay.
There are two different. Not many Dai people have tea gardens.
Oh, really?
You remember that? That's like Dai is a big and use the dominant.
Oh, they're the dominant culture in that
Yeah,
zone.
that's why they're
region.
most on the plants and stuff. Now the more.
Oh, you told me about the story,
Remember the
how it kind
story?
of the fate worked against them in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had the coveted land in the plains where it's much easier to farm and all that, and then tea came along and it's like, whoopsie daisy, we're not in the mountains, and we don't have all those ancient trees. So anyway, there's the liquor color of this delicious evening tea, but you're probably super thirsty, so let me top you up.
Thank you. So Josh was saying, sorry, I was really love Tangyuan. I miss it so much because I haven't been able to go to Chinatown for months and months and months. I know, right?
Right, yeah, and if I recall, you're in the Greater Toronto area. Is that right or no?
It's in Toronto.
Toronto,
Yeah.
right? So I was going to ask folks from all over. We're in phase 2 now, so things are opening up a little bit here. So sorry, Josh, about Toronto not being in phase 2. I'm laughing with you, not at you, but it's a bummer. Joseph is in Peterborough, so
Peterborough
probably
should be
opening up
open.
a little bit there. And everybody, how's your experience? Has anybody made it out to a tea house, or has anybody kind of gone out and about and starting to experience a little bit of relief, or still locked down in Portland, Nuev? I guess that's what phase 1 means, pretty much full quarantine, just go out for essentials and whatnot.
Phase 1 should be more store open, no?
No, we're in like the way they're doing it here. I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
But for here, we called the lockdown phase 1. Stage 2 is the slight open, and stage 3 would be getting pretty close to normal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought we were full lockdown. Then phase 1 is open more essentials.
Oh, maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
You probably notice we don't follow.
We never
just
closed the essentials, right? So for us, the lockdown never included.
like more like a dentist start to open on phase 1, phase 2 they can.
Oh, maybe
something like that. I'm not
maybe,
sure.
yeah.
I really don't
Maybe.
follow the.
I'm not sure if it's standard across, like especially across an international border too. It could be very
right.
different, but. We are allowed, so Nuev clarifies, we are allowed to get essentials and pick up food from restaurants, no tea house visits yet.
Yeah.
So phase 2 for us means that patios for restaurants are allowed to open. Inside restaurants is still not open.
Malls are open?
And malls are starting to.
I haven't had a chance to visit yet. I really wanted to go on day 1 just to see, not quite shopping, probably just to see, so many people, or no people, then just leave. But
we kind of forgot.
We forgot.
I'm not as big a fan of the mall anyway. So.
I just wonder how would people go there, like because how not desperate, just how long we cannot go out and shopping and have that feeling of
I'm sure there was a wave of that. I'm sure there was a wave of people who were just.
And how the mall handle that.
Like Josh would be if they opened Chinatown. Boom! You'd be there right away.
Well, we visited TNT quite regularly.
Yeah.
TNT should be open, right?
Yeah, of course. They got it as a grocery store, but yeah. And what's going on here on YouTube?
So here, speaking of funny translations, and that was the reason I originally ordered the
Tang Yuan.
Tang Yuan the first time ever at a Chinese restaurant because it was called glutinous rice balls with sesame inside. That's pretty accurate, actually.
Right? Is that
What did you? Yeah.
Nice.
What did you thought it is? Like,
just as a name, that's overly accurate for that's like as a food name. It's a little bit funny, right? It's just actually just a dictionary description of exactly what it is. Usually is something like more like
he has something even more funny in Chinese restaurant.
Really?
How you order the
New Pao Yip when I was
long
before we met, I just close my eyes and flip open a random page and point.
Goofy style as usual.
Yeah, and the waiter's like, "Are you sure? It has stomach in it." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I didn't really want stomach at all at that time. I wasn't a big fan. But I said yes because I was with a bunch of friends. I didn't want to look like a chicken. So I got the dish and I had like 2 bites and luckily it was sharing and lots of people loved it, so they ate it. And I ate like the sweet and sour pork balls or something really lame like that.
Really lame. What?
No, because they were Western. They weren't Chinese food. Anyway, so then we got to catch up with YouTube a little bit.
Right.
And the name made me laugh, so I was curious and loved it ever since. Yeah, those are one of my favorite, especially with real black sesame inside. But yeah, I mentioned because I love using fragrant tisane to make the sweet broth that they sit in. And yeah, those flowers are so good, those osmanthus flowers. And then Joseph Burton says, "I'm generally not a massive fan of heicha, but I am seriously loving your Jianli. I find it's also pretty nice after dinner."
Yeah,
100% agree. Yeah. And it's funny, Joseph, a lot of that's even my impression of the tea. Like, of course, I love heicha, but when we first got it and I tasted it sort of for the official website tasting, I took my notes, but I was like, a bit stunned. I didn't know what to make of the tea in it. And then I had a second crack at it and it just really grew on me. And I'm like, I love this tea. It's so calming.
I think sometimes when you the taste of the tea doesn't really change that much in different settings, but some moments really matters if you are not in there for calming tea, or sometimes when we do a tasting, we're expecting like oolong big something, then you suddenly have a quiet, more like a
it can even be just your
more elegant kind of a talker style of tea. Then it was like that a little bit plain, it's not loud enough. It's
or you're almost too switched on doing the tasting because you're just like zzz, and not just let the tea kind of come to you kind of thing.
Because I initially was the similar when I first get into dark tea, and qianliang wasn't like my favorite or anything. We taste it, we drink it because we have to. But what made me cleanse was in a quite hot day, and I was like not, how should I say, really didn't want any loud tea like a floral or too obvious. But I also don't like a oolong wasn't what I wanted because it's too loud. It just feel crowded as a hot day. I'm already a little bit feeling that kind of anxious, a little bit like crowded inside. So I just wanted water but not quite water.
Right.
And when I had that qianliang cha, I really felt that that moment of peace and stuff, and
refreshing too.
Yes, initially refreshing, and that gave me a more friendly view to really taste what's there.
Yeah,
and not in the in the biased view of not as interesting as some other teas.
Yeah. See it for what it is. It does have that little watermelon rind kind of element that just really refreshing and soothing.
I do find there are the general quite different views about that tea because people will receive lots of compliments about that qianliang because lots of people love it.
Yeah, blown away, like really.
Yeah, they're
shocked by
like,
it.
wow, that's really good. And sometimes I don't expect it that from people, especially when they just get into tea. I
Mhm.
found they're more drawn towards oolong. But
Right.
sometimes I would have people who really love Jianli as a tea beginner. And sometimes you would have people who drink that tea and feel like not feeling much about that. Like,
Right.
what's so stunning about this
Right.
tea? It's quite interesting.
Cool. I'm just going to go over to Instagram for a bit. We've got,
Right.
oh yeah, we're okay there.
Mhm.
So Nuev says, miss Yunnan food so much, and Jingdezhe food, and Beijing food. Basically a Chinese food. Changzhe handmade noodles. I miss it all. Yeah, we were missing them too. But that's why we're making them. We're now no longer missing
He
them.
is making it. I don't make noodles. I'm not good with the flours. Anything.
She is great. You're a sauce, like the wizard with sauce. She's so good with sauce, and I'm the pastry in charge of pastry.
Yeah.
So we've got it covered. We're solid now.
We're solid.
Yeah.
We're talking about this whole pandemic and a crisis and stuff, and we're like, you know what? Worst case, we just open a little restaurant,
Street food shop or something,
yeah, street
right?
food shop.
Street snacks. So yeah, and then where were we? Josh says, yeah, my parents are super young, and I'm stuck at home at the moment. So can't go out at all until things are better, open or not. Yeah, that's a bummer. Mark Andre, we have been allowed to leave. Oh, regarding, this is interesting. So this is from Japan, which is another area of interest. I think you guys are handling things quite well over there as well. I got to admit, I'm a little disappointed, but I don't want to get into that too much. So anyway, Mark Andre on YouTube says they've been allowed to leave our prefecture this weekend. We are recommended not to visit Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo. But for the rest of us, it's pretty open. Okay. So you've got hot zones too, kind of like Toronto is kind of not open.
And pretty major city, like a populated.
Yeah,
right?
Makes sense. Population density is pretty intense there. And then he goes on, we didn't have a real lockdown, just recommendation not to leave our city. Wow. That's cool. That's good. I'm glad you're kind of able to have your life pretty normal. Hopefully. I don't really know. But
did you guys have like a second wave or talking about second wave in Japan at all?
And Joseph Burton says, haha, yeah, because we're so close to Oshawa and Toronto, people are worried that people will be flooding to the mall and restaurants from the GTA. Don't think that's happened though. Hey, and then Jeff, the lazy literatus, joined us on YouTube and said, what tea? So we will answer. Shu Pu'er Coins 2016. Here is the liquor color. So we're on infusion, I don't know, 5, 6-ish. Really nice calming Shu Pu'er.
Quite woody, you know.
Nice woody aroma on the Gaiwan lid. Thanks for bringing us back to the tea, Jeff.
Yes.
Great, sweet, silky mouthfeel. Liquor is really, for me, it's sweet, refreshing, and delicious. We just did a workout, so we were dying of thirst. Hints of that woodiness, more leathery though in the liquor. Nice body in the mouth, very nice.
A little bit smoky if when I breathe out, gentle one. I like that.
Really subtle though. And Cole Weed, welcome on the YouTube side. I went with Rogue Way tonight. I find a good rock tea calming. Oh yeah, who doesn't? Booyah. I had to answer what's my favorite tea today in a little questionnaire, and always go with Shui Xian as my favorite tea. Just awesome. But I love Shu Pu'er at night. I hate the question. Favorite tea is so tricky. Love them all. So then Joseph says out to the lady out there, oh, we were talking about Jianli, but actually we're drinking Shu Pu'er. Right. And then Jeff was completely off track because he got tricked by Joseph. Just kidding, Joseph and Jeff. Portland is still in lockdown, phase 1. That's right. It's Shu o'clock. That is right. It is Shu o'clock, right? Nice.
Yes.
And Josh says, you got to know if Jen and Phil are drinking at this time of night. It's definitely going to be Shu. Yeah, you're right.
There's no surprise.
Yeah, she even asked me, what tea are we having? I'm like, what? Shu Pu'er? What kind of question is that? But I did almost bring the Taekwondoen Classic because we had started one earlier. So I was like, maybe
we
we
often
could
just
finish that.
drink some tea, then pause, do something
Pause.
else, come back and
Yeah.
drink that
Maybe
again.
next time we'll do that just to demonstrate. Like I don't know.
Demonstrate you cannot sleep at night.
No, demonstrate that it's. I don't know. I wonder if people are like sometimes maybe they're hesitant to start a gaiwan of tea. Because they feel like they're kind of committed to a certain length of session, you know,
Right,
especially
right.
like with our tea, shameless self-promotion, that steeps so many infusions because it's such great quality, which is all true. It's not just shameless self-promotion. But you don't have to. You can steep it, you know, 4 or 5 times, pop the lid on, go away, go about your business, you know, get back to work, and then come back for your next tea break and keep on rocking, which is exactly what's going to happen with that Take One Yin tomorrow morning. I'm going to turn on the kettle and that'll be my morning tea.
That's our motto now. We're more free in terms of do we finish this tea or not. Sometimes we have one tea in the morning and not to finish it because maybe I chose the tea and he doesn't want to continue that, and he just start another tea. So we have so many teas going at zigzag. Yeah.
So I think our record is like 3 gaiwans, but could be more.
I try to keep the like the tea table neat a little bit, because when it gets
she tries, but I make it hard. I make it really hard. And then no, Joseph is okay. I was just I was just being goofy as usual. And Marc Andre says no second wave yet. Tokyo had a scare 2 weeks ago though. Yeah.
Same with Beijing has several cases. I didn't follow up with today's number yet.
Yeah, that's right. The Beijing thing. So they have their bit of a scare going on, but they're clamping down like crazy. So I think they'll keep that under control.
Yeah.
And then on the, we'll just see what's going on with Nuev here on the Instagram side, having Ho Kui grandpa style right now. Nice. Though dark tea is my favorite kind of tea, Fujian cha is like my most favorite. Yeah, that's really soothing too. I really like that. Little sometimes cocoa-y.
We know that we started to boil that more often.
I boiled some just this weekend, right? It was quite nice. Yeah. I was inspired by your video to boil it. So yeah.
The only reason I don't boil that as much is because the teaware is harder to clean. That's why.
Really?
Yeah.
The pot wasn't too bad though.
Here is the thing. Any pot for boil, if you dump the leaf out, you almost have to rinse several times or stick your hands in.
Because the leaf is so broken up.
And the shape of that, unlike a gaiwan, I just dump, rinse. Gone.
Right. So anyway, Nuev, if you like Fujian and you haven't boiled it yet, which probably you have, but if you haven't, check out that video. And boil your Fujian. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of video, did you guys listen to our latest video by
sorry if I broke.
And
Igor and
Kurt,
Dylan. Igor, Dylan, and Glenn joined forces with me to make the Crazy Oolong Train video. I don't know if you guys have checked it out yet, but if you did, I apologize in advance for my voice. But I did my best, but Aussie was a hard act to follow.
It was so high the whole time. I was like, that's just crazy. And the guitar was so crazy. I really love Glenn, the solo part.
Yeah, Glenn did the solo, and Dylan and myself provided the rest of the guitar parts. And Igor's crazy. He's not with us here tonight, but he provided this awesome 80s style keyboard track, which is fully original because it didn't. That song doesn't feature keyboard originally, but he did a great job to make it work.
Yeah.
So it was super fun, and he did the drum track. So that's how it all came together. It was a lot of fun. Next one I'm doing is going to be, I think, more like a mashup. I'm going to do some sort of funky funk rap, tea rap funk mashup thing. Something like that. So
it's really, and for the video, as soon as I heard his final version, I was like, I really want to get that video out. So on the video, you probably noticed I didn't do much cutting. I just tried to find some images to fill in the space. So to make that more fun is I basically kind of roughly lay out the process of oolong making. But it's not so picture 1 to picture 10 steps. It's a mashup. For example, the the oxidation phase, I mix up several different oolong teas process all in those images, and you can see different machines, different faces, different kilograms and stuff like that. So I was thinking if you were into it, you can take a guess of what are the teas I put, what are the oolong teas I put in those images, and how many of them. What?
Oh, I'm just reading ahead. So anyway, Joseph said he really liked it, and I really appreciate the feedback, Joseph. Thank you for enduring my voice. And he loved the keyboard, which was.
Do you like the story here? I was so
I kind of
surprised.
I wrote the lyrics
story.
around the story, so I haven't put the subtitles up yet, but I
right,
will.
You got it.
The auto ones will be there. I don't know how well, they probably butchered the hell out of it, but I have the subtitles. I'll put my lyrics are typed out, so I just feed those to YouTube, and YouTube will line them up. So haven't done that yet, but I'm going to do that. And check out this, Cirkson. So welcome, welcome. He actually says that he's new. He just found this channel yesterday, and the train video was the first video I watched. Instantly subscribed. So I guess it worked. So thank you for subscribing, and thank you for encouraging my foolish habit of making crazy tea songs. And and actually Jeff just left to watch it. So yeah, so thanks for subscribing and encouraging my crazy habit. So it's just fun. I like music, and I love tea, so I wanted to be able to do both, and that's sort of how I do that.
He watched all the way to the end. Joseph said, I love that.
Look at those truffula trees at the end.
Don't you think that his comment is always so cute? I mean, it's like when I saw those images of the floating mountains.
I haven't listened to the end in so long. I actually forgot that. And
that's his comment about those trees. I was so mesmerized at that moment because that was the morning in our Tieguanyin field. And we got up, and there's it's cool, misty, and the floating, everything is so beautiful and almost dreamy. And he's about the trees.
Yeah, they just stick up and have a ball. It's really cute,
right?
Anyway, so I'm glad you got like that. I think people like tea. I think sometimes tea seems to be so serious, and it is. It's pretty. Don't get me wrong. I take my tea very seriously, but it doesn't mean I can't have some fun around it too. And that's awesome. So Nuev on Instagram, I boiled white tea, Shu, and Liu Bao. Though I technically boiled Fujian to season the teapot and sipped it, so that counts maybe. Yeah, we count that. You're in the club. And then I'll check out your video though. I'd like to try boiling Fujian more intentionally. Yeah, it works. We did it. It was awesome.
And that Fujian video comes with his saying of hey.
Oh gosh, I seem to be promoting all my own music. I didn't do that on purpose.
He's doing great. He did so far 3 musics, right? One about we. So
right, that was the beginning.
That was not the best, but that's the best because it started the whole idea.
Right.
And
I think it's one of the best. It was a little C&W.
And
C&W for you. Yeehaw.
And the original song is Grandma got
ran over by a reindeer by the Irish Rovers, who probably nobody knows who I'm talking about except all the Canadians know exactly who I'm talking about.
But that's pretty first, so that's pretty cool. And second, that spun that just happened on the bus on Wuyi on the bus on Wuyi Mountains, which has filled with the Chinese and one Westerner singing little song, and I was just videoing. That was really, really
cute. I was just, why was I singing this stupid song? Because I was so stoked to be in Wuyi. I was just really excited.
Yeah, and you just saw
I just spontaneously. We did pass a sign that said, anyway,
you just saw it.
I don't know. I just started singing "Welcome to Wuyi Mountain." And I came up with the little.
Oh, because of the sign on the back of the bus seat. Every seat.
That's right. That's what it was.
That's the starting line.
Yeah. So
that Fujian boiling one is Hei Cha in the tomb of Hey Jude.
Yeah.
So while you learn about how to brew that, you will have to tolerate his Hey Jude music.
I can tie that into the Talking Tea coming up this Sunday. That we're doing with Ken, because that song, we had just got off the phone with Ken about our dark tea podcast. We were setting it up at the time, and I was like, that's going to be fun to do a podcast about Hey Cha or something like that. It was just random. I sing about Hey Cha, but I'm sure it was around the time we were coordinating a podcast with Talking Tea, Ken Cohen. And we have another one coming up this Sunday. So I think some new people have joined. So hopefully I don't sound like a broken record. But yeah, so tune in Sunday at 1 p.m. We're going to share a Zoom link. First 25 people are going to be able to kind of sit in the room and watch us do a Talking Tea live. And
you have a chance to type in your questions or stuff to help.
In the chat, you can put your questions. Nuev likes to play on words, I think, for the HI.
He's the little rapper in the house. Maybe we can do a rap song.
Yeah, not live though. I'm not as good as Eminem. We can't do that live. We can't do a rap off. Yeah, so I think that's it. We got talked about the. I want to show it again.
Yeah, maybe just talk about this again.
Talked about the maybe translating in this book, and not sure how we're going to put it out into the world though. That's kind of
we're not sure how to do it yet. I don't know. Maybe a video live. I don't know. Like I just want to help translating that. And do you guys have any suggestions? How do you think is the best way to do that? And
yeah. So
you can message us, leave us a comment below or anything to know what's your preferred way.
Yeah, some creative, imaginative ideas on how to get the contents of this book out into the world in the most understandable way possible. Aziza wants tickets to the wrap off. Yo, no problem. You in? Yeah, you're in. I'm gonna do a fountain. I'm gonna mention fountain pens in the next song. I'm gonna work it in somehow, or ink or something. Yes, tattoos, ink, fountain pens. It all works. Okay, so yes, the book, the Talking Tea. All right, those are the things I want to make sure we're clear on. Talking Tea this Sunday, Father's Day special Talking Tea live
at 1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. Eastern, and
we'll post the Zoom link soon. Zoom
link is coming. Stay tuned on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. We'll throw it up in YouTube.
Is it possible? Sorry, this is my little Chinese.
Anyway, I was going to say something else about the YouTube that that 1 p.m. I forget now.
Sorry.
Zoom link coming, and I think that's it. I don't know. Did you want to show them something from the book?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe you can just quickly mention.
Read a passage.
Read English because it's really fun. It's really funny.
I should have prepared a little bit. So hang on, I'm gonna mention. I think some of the stuff here is even better. Like, okay.
Don't be nervous.
So here, just qualities of tea. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, qualities of tea. The quality of tea is determined by places. Book of Tea believes that the tea grown in the wild is better than in the garden. Purple tea is better than green tea. Shoots are better than buds. Curly leaves are better than the smooth. The quality of tea is also determined by seasons. Growing in spring, the leaves are dark green, fat and soft, sufficient water. You see what I mean? Nothing understandable, but
it's like
it's almost direct translated Chinese. I can tell now. I know enough that this is pretty much.
If I really ask you what does the curly leaves are better than the smooth, like because the really smooth means the texture of the surface more, right?
Right, exactly. And just this sentence: grown in spring, the leaves are dark green, fat and soft, sufficient water. I don't think that's a sentence. But anyway, just cute. But it's cute. It's very poetic, which is the Chinese side. So it'd be fun to, and also it's talking. It doesn't. I should have mentioned the other thing is, it says Book of Tea believes that blah blah blah. But it'd be good for a translation to explain what is Book of Tea. That's Lu Yu's take on what is the best tea, but it's not super clear. You already need some pretty good background in tea to even catch that subtle thing, which is not, this is not what is the best in tea. That's what Lu Yu thought was the best at the time. It's sort of historic, just got missed. So looks like Simmerjeet's going to see us Sunday. That's awesome. So anyway, it should be super fun. to
Yeah.
do this. We could do. I like the chapter by chapter idea, and just do maybe I don't know, maybe something fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty fun.
Share with us your thoughts, some suggestions. How should we do that? That's what I was like mostly thinking of, and not quite into doing a blog post about those things.
Yeah. But it would be wonderful to read, especially since so much tea stuff is always from a Western point of view. I'd love to hear an Eastern point of view about tea, especially from such a prestigious source. So Josh said that on but first Jeff came back from watching the video and says, I'm back, deep, nerdy fun. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I would love to get an actual copy. And Josh said he'd like to actually get a copy in book form. So I don't know. We'll stay tuned. We'll see what we can do. I don't know. It might be like anyway, we'll talk about that. Shoot out all your ideas. Let us know if you would like the book. Let us know. Maybe if we have enough demand for it, we can try and get some of them in for you or something, and then have the companion. Like, I don't know. Sounds like, so what else? Marc Andre says, sounds like the notebook of my wife's students that she has to correct. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yes. It's not unintelligible at all. It's all there. It's just, not perfect. And Sirksen, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. I'm kind of new to the tea field. That's a good pun if you intended it. If you're standing in a tea field right now, that'd be super funny. You see what I mean? So like, I'm kind of new to the tea field. In the book, it mentioned purple tea. What is that? Yeah, good question. And purple tea, the answer to that question, I could answer it a couple ways, but what the book meant is a specific kind of cultivar that is purple. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But he doesn't mean, That doesn't mean that. That means the purple nature of that Gutra's. Yes, but a lot of tea has that early stage, early spring, early sprout has the purple color. That's what he means, right? So it's not. So there's a cultivar that's purple tea, but that's not what this is talking about. Yes. Yeah. So that's what I mean by a lot of clarify needs to know what the Chinese intended for, what is the right, like, especially, and again, maybe just if we actually go to translate that today, right? Maybe 20, 30 years later, this needs to revisit, because for the people at that time, their common knowledge, their common understanding of the certain word changes. That I actually feel a lot when I'm trying to revisit a lot of old documents and stuff like that. Yes. So great question. Synergy was saying that we can do something like a Sunday read on Insta or Tube. Whoa, you guys call that Insta or Tube? Instatube. Instatube. I mean, like what we do. What we do is Instatube. We got Instagram here. By the way, Instagram, you might get kicked out in a few minutes. I don't know. I can see you're in about the last 3 minutes, but we didn't get the warning yet. Institute. Okay, cool. So we could do but like he says, do the reads on Institute and have an ebook on the site. That's pretty good. Maybe, yeah. Cool. Okay. Love the ideas though. Keep them coming. Like do a Sunday read. I like that idea. Yeah. Except the scheduling part. We don't like schedules. But maybe it would be good for us to get more consistent. 24 hours in Sunday from midnight. Let's read the whole book. Like this week starts at midnight. Next week we start at 1 a.m. Right. Just then, and then Marc Andre said maybe audiobook format. So yeah, that could be cool. A print on demand thing for physical copies. You could always do a print on demand. So that's a thing. I think what he's talking about is now with book publishing, you can actually get it published properly, and they just print it as it's ordered. So that service exists. I think that's what Joseph's talking about. And Josh says maybe we can get it published. So all of those are cool. And where am I? I've been reading in random order now, so I'm completely lost. Okay. Josh says, I always thought that a purple tea arose from the cyanoblasts forming in tea leaves that are in extremely harsh sun and are struggling to survive as a defense mechanism. Where are you? Here now. Oh. Rose from what forming? cyanoblasts.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's some chemical that forms in tea, ostensibly when it's trying to defend itself from harsh sunlight.
Oh.
I was going to let you answer because I'm not sure. I know of the purple tea cultivar.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, and
Not
also, like
necessarily.
you said, you have those little. This is just a phenomenon in some tea that the early.
Certain cultivars in certain time. It's
In certain
usually
season, right?
in spring, early spring, like the 固株紫笋, which is what that citation was mentioning. Lu Yu was more talking about talking about 固株紫笋, and that's why it has the name.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Marc Andre said he got one. So there you go. So anyway, cool. Thanks for all the input and keep it coming. We're definitely interested in that. Instagram ended. Oh, I missed the countdown. They didn't give us a countdown.
They did.
Oh, anyway, sorry people on Instagram. If you flip over to YouTube and watch us later, I say bye here now. But everybody on YouTube, you don't have to leave. I'll just press this button and get this out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, move that. Silly Instagram. Anyway, so we were pretty much wrapping up. So book, talking tea on Sunday.
I really like the Sunday read idea.
Sunday read is a cool idea. Keep them coming.
Yeah. More
Instagram
ideas,
Live
please.
has been a dumpster fire lately. I don't know. I love that. I love that metaphor.
Fire.
It's just a golden metaphor. Well, an amber glowing metaphor with a little bit of tire smell, I guess, since it's a dumpster fire. But I love the metaphor, but I don't know why it's been a dumpster fire. So maybe we shouldn't talk about it because I can imagine why you might be calling it a dumpster fire. So, and hopefully this hasn't been a dumpster fire. Hopefully you've enjoyed not only the break to go enjoy Crazy Oolong Train, but also enjoyed us rambling. Oh, Simmerjeet jumped over. Good.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we were right in the middle of chatting about the idea. We really love the Sunday read idea, though. I think you missed that comment. So, been broken. Oh, weird. Oh, okay. That's not as bad as I thought. So yeah, cool. Anyways, guys, so that's it. Shu Pu'er was what we drank tonight. It was delicious. We were so thirsty. Now we're not, so it works.
So it works. The biggest thing about this tea is it really works. To quench your thirst.
I'm no longer thirsty. It steeped. I don't know. I guess we should count the infusions, but we got plenty of infusions.
We're always like.
Yeah, we're good. I think we're good tea vendors. We don't talk about our own tea too much. We talk about it just enough. I think, right, what do you guys think? And we talk about fun stuff like Crazy Oolong Train, books, podcasts. All right, I think that's it, guys. We're gonna let you go. It's past our bedtime, and
the way you said it.
What?
It passed our bedtime. Feel like we're kids.
Oh, I'm serious. It's way past our bedtime. We gotta go. Look, it's 10:10 here.
Okay,
Jeff's lucky. He's way in the early time zone. He's got 2 more hours before it's this late. At least, maybe 3.
We're trying to go to sleep early.
Marc Andre. Oh, it's morning for you. Yeah. You have a good morning, Marc Andre. I think have a good day. I can be generic if I don't know. And yeah, great to see you again. We will be. We're
trying to be more on live.
Yeah.
Try. No commitment.
The weather, honestly, the weather got nice. We got back outside and we were having a great time, and then we're like, holy cow, we got to do a live. So here we are. We'll bring you guys outdoor again sometime soon to the charcoal kettle. Hopefully we can do that soon. Simmerjeet, have a good evening. Another date for the black tea event. Yes, we will find one. We will find a time eventually when
we're hoping for
reopens.
we're really hoping for the autumn. It's just for the easy of reschedule. But we really look forward to it and really want to go to Toronto for some.
And hopefully we can just get down there and have another when the restaurants are open.
I was gonna say that I'm not going to every restaurants are open.
We're gonna go and support the restaurants so as soon as they're open.
Yeah.
So all right, guys.
Yes.
Have a great night.
Joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, and as always,
keep
steeping.
Steeping. I said keep sipping.
Happy sipping.
All right.
Keep steeping.
Keep steeping, guys.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Endo.